Good morning. This is Bill from Auto Europa Naples, and today they've given me this rabbit. Okay, this is a 2013 Volkswagen Eos. I know it's not technically a rabbit, but when I see any Volkswagen of this size, I don't know, it just kind of is a rabbit to me. I look at it and, well, it's kind of the answer to the question that nobody really asked. I mean, we know that Eoses exist. They're out there, they're running around. You see them on the street from time to time. I never actually knew anyone who had one. Obviously we've sold a few, so I guess technically I've known people who've bought them. But as far as like organically, meeting someone who had an Eos, that is just not something that's happened to me before. And I suppose that's why Volkswagen stopped making them at a certain point, because frankly they were shockingly expensive. Obviously very well-built cars, but not, I don't know. Okay, let's just get into it. All right, you can see the look of the car is quite Volkswagen corporate. Very nice. It was updated for 2012. It shares the platform with the GTI. It is essentially a GTI underneath, which is, of course, a beloved Volkswagen vehicle. You can see we've got all the sheeting over the cars over there as they're doing mudding on the building next door. I really do love that. I really do love having construction infringe on our dealership like that. But anyway, so it is basically a GTI underneath. So that means it has the 200 horse, turbocharged 4-cylinder, great one. Has that 6-speed DSG dual clutch automatic, which isn't really an automatic. It's a manual that shifts itself. And as a result, you get pretty good gas mileage out of it, but that's for later. But what they've done is taken this, GTI platform and put sort of lackluster bodywork all around it, which frankly the GTI has as well. But they've added the one thing about this car that absolutely sets it apart, and that is probably the best folding hardtop out there, at least in terms of its functionality and its form. And I will give Volkswagen, credit for that. They have done a lovely job. Now, when the top is up, it really isn't that distinctive. It just, again, looks sort of like a rabbit. When the top is down, it becomes much more attractive and is, a little bit better to look at. Eos itself stands for like it's an acronym. It's the goddess of the dawn or something, some Greek mythology. Obviously, not really super macho if it's named for a goddess, but I'm sure there are guys out there who want them. You can see it has nice big alloy wheels. This one's sort of an upmarket model. I can't remember if it's a Lux or an Executive. I think it's a Lux. So this thing would have cost like up near 40 grand, which is kind of a ton of money for a little fuel-efficient 4-cylinder Volkswagen that does have some luxury stuff. Brilliantly, the detailer parked it in the air-conditioned booth overnight, so I'm absolutely covered with mist, which is ridiculous, but the hell with it. I'm going to go through and do this anyway. It's finished in this sort of lovely root beer color, sort of a, medium black-brown metallic type thing. I do like the twin star alloys. Look, I tried researching this. I mean, I know the cars. I tried researching it a little more last night to come up with some stuff that I could say about it. And the hell with it. I'm just going to go and give my impression as I walk around it. I thought about getting into the history of Volkswagen, but that maybe isn't such a good idea. But anyway, let's just get into it. So I'm going to open up the trunk. I'm going to start there. Now, when the top is up, you are going to get pretty good cargo. I also like the way that handle works where you push in the emblem. Here you can see this big divider thing. Now, you can't really put stuff anywhere other than underneath that divider. If you do, it's not going to go very well for you. Now, if you have the top up, you can put this up here, put it into those clever little things, and use as much of this big cargo area as you want, because the top's not going anywhere. This thing's kind of silly. It's like the jacking hardware, the tire inflator under a Velcro thing. You think they could have hidden that a little bit better. It has floor mats. This is the boot for the windscreen. Still has the front license plate. We have a set of rubber mats for it too somewhere. You can also see it as a pass-through into the passenger seat, so if you're carrying using, you know, a sniper rifle or a RPG or something, you'll be able to run it through there, and, you know, cargo won't be an issue. Now, if you want to run the top, you pull this back and carefully, and I do mean carefully because there's micro switches everywhere that you know, will stop the top from working if you don't. Put it into place. So get that back down, make sure all your cargo is under there, and you should be good to go. Have a quick look under the hood. Oh God, the mist, made worse by the air conditioning, and the goddess of the dawn, the rabbits. Okay, look under here. After that CLS yesterday, I was ready for something more exotic. Here is a 2-liter turbocharged Volkswagen. Is it turbocharged? I think so. Anyway, good enough. 200 horsepower, very fuel efficient, very peppy. Again, that fantastic engine from the GTI. Everybody loves it, and they should. It is a terrific little engine, and makes the car, you know, perform in a very nimble way. Now, this thing's obviously heavier than a GTI, so you don't get the same sort of, you know, throw the rear tire in the air, run around the racetrack nimbleness, but it ain't bad. It's pretty good. With the refresh it had in 2012, it got, you know, very nice corporate front end. It got these LED headlamps. Being an upmarket version, this one has fog lamps down low, nice little trim things around everywhere with the chrome or polished aluminum or whatever the hell it is. And it looks nice, but anyway, great engine under there, mated to that 6-speed dual clutch, all very lovely. Have a look inside. Okay, in here, again, upmarket, so you know, I look at it, I think, wow, that looks nice and luxurious, and I think, yeah, well, the car was like 40 grand, so it kind of better be, and, you know, does it come up to the 40 grand level? It's nice, excuse me, it's nice leather, but is it that nice? But, you know, again, that may be part of why they didn't sell a ton. And maybe these things would be collectible because they really didn't sell a bunch. And obviously, it was expensive, and the top goes. I could see that running through Barrett-Jackson in 20 years. Oh, my God, it's an Eos. Anyway, it's all keyless, so we can lock it and unlock it with the little indentation there. You see it beeps at you. Put your hand on it, pull it, it opens up. Let's fire it up. Foot on the brake. I'm gonna tap this guy. We'll get the window defrosting if I can do that. Welcome to Volkswagen. Thank you. It's lovely to be here. So, okay, where's defrost? There's max. We'll see if that works. Man, that's loud. Maybe I can turn that down a little bit. Okay, hopefully it's still on defrost. Now to run the top, we're gonna move this little, oh God, it's beeping at me. Sorry, I know this is excruciating. To run the top, I think we push down on this guy, or do we pull up on it? We're gonna push down on it. Oh God, okay, well, I should do something first. Let me run it back, if I can. Now I've stopped it. There go the windows. What have I done? I've done bad things here. I'm gonna run this sunroof back so you can see that. All right, so it's gonna stop. No, it isn't gonna stop. Oh my God, I don't know how to use that. I'm just putting the top all the way down. The hell with it. Okay, we're gonna try all this again because I want you to see this stuff. I'm sure I'm gonna screw this thing up. Okay, here is what makes this top nice. Now, I've, in a very inconvenient sort of way, making a botch of running the top, shown that this thing can have a huge glass sunroof, which is really cool. That is, you know, a feature that I quite like. You slide that divider back, and the entire area above the front seat passengers becomes clear and lovely. Okay, that's gonna make it stop binging. So, you know, nice big slider, back it goes. You can also run just that section back so that you have a giant sunroof. And that is, again, something you don't see very often in the hardtop world. Now, the back comes up goes the trunk, and then the whole hardtop starts going back. It's run by like 9 motors. Hop out in the middle of it, but you can see, you know, very, very nice feature. And this is what you're paying for. I mean, you know, if the thing were just a coupe, it's 10 grand overpriced, but you're paying for this incredibly cool hardtop mechanism. So let's get back in, put it all the way back down, and we'll see how the car looks that way. And while I'm walking around outside, I'll put the defrost on high, so hopefully we have a clear windshield. All right, very, very nice stuff. Defrost, max. See what happens. Okay, so now the Eos comes into its own. I mean, you know, top down, it becomes quite a handsome little car. You know, the top is a lovely mechanism. It's obviously expensive and fancy, but it doesn't look great when it's up. But when the top is down, the car becomes kind of adorable, the way you know, a little Cocker Spaniel might. And you know, this is for sun lovers, this thing. You know, if you're not going to use the top, then go buy a GTI. It's cheaper, and you know, you won't have to worry about the top. But if you love the sun, if you want a top, then the Eos is the way to go. You see it still has that factory windscreen there, very nice. It also shades the underneath, so if you want to throw some babies back there, or wiener dogs, or, you know, I don't know, toddlers, whatever it is you want to stuff under that thing, they're going to be in the shade, so that's nice. So anyway, very, very handsome car with the top down. The mist on the window. Let's see how our cargo access is. Our cargo access is unobtainable. Probably have to hit a trunk release button. Okay. Okay, so you do get a little slit there to reach in and grab your stuff. It's not too bad. In fact, it's better than some other cars I know. I'm looking at you, 3 Series. But anyway, there it is. So you'll be able to get some stuff in there, your shopping, your crates of hand grenades, whatever it is, you know, somebody who drives an Eos needs. You know, maybe a, oh, I don't, you know what, the hell with it. All right, so there it is. All very nice stuff. You can get in the trunk and you're good to go. Okay, door panels, nice. Bunched leather, your power windows. This runs all 4 windows at once, your power mirrors. This thing has some kind of upgraded sound system, so you got all kinds of speakers everywhere. You got a little pocket to put crap in there. You've got this neat little button where you can move the power seat back and forth, so if you're stuck in the back seat, they didn't give you any leg room, you can push that forward and crush the driver. You can see lovely leather back seats with a couple of cup holders in the middle. All very nice stuff, and of course that center thing opens up to allow your long cargo to come through from the trunk, so pretty useful that way. You know, not giant back seats. Obviously you can stuff a couple Canadians in there and they'll be okay. Obviously you'll have to stow this windscreen. It folds up and goes in the trunk, but otherwise people are going to be pretty crabby back there, but you know, it's good for little short trips. And of course if you're on a trip with just 2 of you, you can put your suitcase back there. So all very nice stuff. I have to say, beautiful leather in this car. Really, really is. I love this cream beige color. I love the feel of the leather. It's a very expensive feeling surface, and I guess it better be. All right, so that worked pretty good. We've got a clear windshield. Oh God, I can't reach the seatbelt. Tomorrow I think I'm going to do a Jaguar. All right, here's a nice little 3-prong steering wheel. It's got leather grippities at the 10 and 2. You got your automatic headlights over there. You've got this hint of, I don't know if that's wood. It's really hard to see without my glasses on, but I think it is. I think it's got like a little wood inlay there, you know, hearkening to the luxury price of this vehicle. You've got some Bluetooth. That might be a voice command. No
phone connected.
Oh, God.
Please connect a paired phone.
Oh, God, stop.
In order to pair a new phone.
Stop. Okay, that was a really irritating voice. So that's how you pair your phone, and that's fine. I'm not doing that again. You can see a little nicely laid out instrument cluster. You've got your tach, you got your 160 mile an hour speedo, all very nice. You've got, your fuel gauge, of course. I like the little red needles with the round chromy things. You've got a driver information center in the middle where you can roll through and change stuff on the car. Snow tires, if you want that. Convenience features, what's convenient. Central locking, windows, mirror down, blah, blah, blah. Okay, what else? Lights and vision. Leaving home, footwell. Their little font it just reeks of like a safe space or something. Then, use a proper font for the love of God. Time, obviously, we can set the time. Snow tires on or interesting. Okay, so got a snow tire setting. Units. Ultra speed, service, factory setting, blah, blah. Okay, so a lot of stuff in there you can do. You can also get your, audio readouts, your compass from the navigation, your phone stuff, assistance. Just leave it on the speed. Over here you've got vents that you can shut off, all very standard. You've got sort of, again, upmarket model, this Lux version. So I think this is touchscreen. It is. And it gives you your navigation. All very nice stuff. Gives you your Bluetooth telephone if you want to hook that up, if you want to hear that voice again, and obviously your radio otherwise. Let's see what we have here. I'm sure I can. Let's see if I can use voice. No, I'm not using that voice command again. The hell with that.
Well, what if I...
Commercials. More commercials. The hell with it. It also has a backup sensor of some sort. These didn't come with cameras, so the best you could get with this sort of graphic interface backup beeper thing, and it works fine. You got a CD up there. You got your heated seats, your climate control stuff here. Down here you've got not an ashtray with a little wood cover, traction control off button. The DSG, it's a shining spot in this car that otherwise, frankly, bores me a little bit. I love this car, this dual shift gearbox, or whatever they call it. It is a dual clutch automatic, but it is a manual gearbox. There's no torque converter in that. And what that does, and it's very clever from the VW engineers, is gives you basically the same fuel mileage you would get with a manual gearbox while still being automatic. So kudos to them on that. You got a glove box over here where you can put, I guess that's probably a good spot for your Mac 10. Because upmarket, again, it's touch button start, so instead of a key, you got a button there. And down here is your top control. You also have a little center console here, which I don't know what you're going to put in there, but paper clips, change, little switchblade, and I don't know what that, I can't read without my glasses, but that's some sort of media in thing. All right, let's go for a spin. I'm not putting the top back up. We're just gonna, oh man, good turning radius. Yeah, that was nice. I drove this to the store the other day, and I have to say it was one of the few turbo cars where you could kind of tell it was a turbo. Most of them have done away with all that lag, but a little wheel spin. Oh man, I tell you what, there's its GTI roots right there. So breaks the front tires loose a little bit, flings that tachometer up to the red line, and becomes a pretty peppy car to hammer. Let's do that again. Wow, traction control. Look at that. All right, so that was kind of fun, I have to say. I enjoyed that. I could have shifted manually, but why bother? Yeah, all right, so it's not underpowered at all. The steering felt quite nice. It feels very nimble, the suspension. I like that little bit of wheel spin we got. Okay, I have to admit, I secretly just enjoyed driving this Eos, so that's kind of neat stuff. And otherwise, it's fine. You got this really cool top mechanism that's going to draw a crowd when it goes down. People like looking at it. It is the coolest top out there, where you have that giant sunroof as part of it. And even if the car isn't exactly a looker, which, let's be frank, it's not offensive to the eyes. It's just sort of, in the background. And if you're, I guess, trying to avoid the gaze of state troopers, then you'll probably be in good shape. If that Lithuanian gangster who's driving the CLS bought a fleet of Eoses instead, man, he could get away with a lot more crimes. Look at that, an old 124 E320. God bless them. Anyway, so here it is, 2013 Volkswagen Eos. I know what I mentioned, 19,000 miles on this thing, so they didn't use it very much. I think it was a condo car or something. I got it from the Volkswagen dealership here locally, so it's only ever traipsed around Naples without any pothole. I mean, the budget Naples has for the roads, for, you know, the systems is ridiculous. So, you know, it's only driven on pretty smooth, nice roads with no salt. Probably went to Trader Joe's and picked up some, you know, frozen black paneer. So it has led a very soft life, genuinely and truly. If you have an interest in this thing, give us a call, 239-298-8000, on the web at AE. Look, I just noticed it has a screen. I'm sure my detailer didn't clean that. Look at that. So that'll cut down buffeting. I'm starting to kind of appreciate this car a little bit. Don't tell anyone. 239-298-8000, on the web at aenaples.com. Thank you so much for having a look. We appreciate it. We'll see you with the next one. Take care.